It is a distinct honor to introduce to you Betty Murray. If you do nothing else, please read the bio of Miss Murray in the journal. It details her very extensive community activism, from her being president at the PTA at Junior High School 142, that's Sousa, and that's where I really knew her, to her writing and illustrating books, and some of her paintings can be seen in the galleries and buildings in the Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of our own, Miss Betty Murray. And her plaque reads, Community Service Award presented to Betty Murray in recognition and appreciation of your many years of outstanding service to the Bronx community. 60th Annual Freedom Fund Awards dinner dance.
Get it, Mama!
I bring you peace and blessings. I'm honored and grateful to be here. Thank you so much, NAACP, for considering me, supporting me, encouraging me, and inspiring me. I just want to say that when I knew about NAACP, I was wearing afro. I saw Bayard Rustin, A. Philip Randolph. Those are all the names that I connect with NAACP. I'm a girl of the 60s, when we was walking in front lines, we were going back and forth, Washington, D.C., and protesting. That's how I know the NAACP, way back, when Nina Simone was singing Young, Gifted, and Black. I moved here in 1953, I was 7 years old. Black men in World War II had the opportunity of moving to the Northeast Bronx, while white men had the opportunity to move to Westchester with a small grant. I moved to Eastchester Gardens. I went to PS 121. At that time, they didn't want us to go to 121. They tried to separate AD Avenue so we couldn't go up this hill to that school, and they wanted us to go to PS 97. But my mother, and like other mothers and church members, got out there and fought and raised enough dust so that we could go up the hill 1 block to PS 121. Then the same thing happened at 135, Junior High School 135. They didn't want us to come across from Eastchester to go over to 135. They would prefer that we went to 113. They built those schools for the people who lived up in the areas where there are the Italians, the Jews, and Irish and Germans. They did not want people from Eastchester houses, which is now Eastchester Garden. From there, I went to Evander Childs High School, and that was the days Evander was phenomenal. They had all kinds of clubs. If you did not make performing arts, or if you did not make music and art or art and design, people came from everywhere to go to Evander back in the 1960s. They would come from Brooklyn, everywhere to go to Evander. I moved up here when Laconia Avenue was mud, roads, there was animals and farms and the trellises in people's backyard, they grew grapes. I was here before they built 95. I was here when Freedom Land was built. That's how long ago I was here. I was a black girl who ran for Miss Bronx. Hunter High School and Monroe, Hunter Business School at that time, and Monroe Business School sponsored a beauty contest called the Miss Bronx contest, which would have led you to Miss New York City and Miss New York State. That was back in the days of Freedom Land. That's when Motown would break their artists there at Freedom Land, and Supremes and Stevie Wonders, that's where they would go before they would go to Apollo Theater. From then, I grew up, had my children, my 4 kids. My 4 kids was to me, and like your kids, was the greatest kids in the world. That's how you feel about your kids? I really feel about that in mine. After being divorced, I raised my 4 kids. And like my father, being a family person and making sure that we keep the family together, I had to decide in life that these kids are growing up and they got to go outside of the house, go outside of the neighborhood, go somewhere. I was scared. I was overprotective, loving, smoochy-moochy mom, you know, didn't want to trust anything. I would tell the guys and my kids if they didn't act right, whatever, I would say, I'll brought you in and I'll take you out. That's the kind of mother I was. But when I would take my kids out and look around in the community was lacking. The community was lacking. It was lacking of resources, information. It wasn't enough people. I was wearing my afro, wearing my braids. People hated me for that. I used to belong to an organization called the Youth Leadership Foundation. And those of you who remember George Sands, he was running Youth Leadership Foundation. And I would walk with my children, and I started picking up the other children in the community, going to Youth Leadership Foundation, doing things for the community, helping writing articles, doing a lot of programs with the children. And people was angry because I was looking too black. I had my braids, my fro. I had a giant fro that was like Angela Davis' fro. My sister came with me. She wrote for a newspaper called Black and Heavy, and she put out a question. She said, "Is Edenwald becoming a ghetto?" It was a question. And from that point on, people used to throw eggs out the window at us and throw things at us because they felt we were saying they were ghetto. We said, "Is it becoming a ghetto?" So it's important you be able to read. You know, people don't read. From there, I started doing a lot of things in our community. I started doing a lot of things like gathering sisters, women, men, and I created something called the Spirit of Sisterhood. And I created something called the Men of Good Taste, because I wanted my babies and other people's babies to be exposed to good people, positive people, people that were saying something, doing something, and being something. I wanted the children to see things beyond their own view, go past what you see, and be more than, be anything that you wanted to be. Anything could be achieved. So I created the Chase of Black Models, which was like an etiquette a program. Girls and mothers and brothers could learn how to act in the public and cross their legs very nicely and speak very confidently, be encouraged, be inspired. That's the type of stuff that I started doing in my community. Then I did something called Come to the Table, and I love Laura Rodden for this, because Laura would bring people, they would set up a table and talk about NAACP or the National Council of Negro Women. We celebrated women, we celebrated positive men. We created art shows. We brought people that were known from the radio and TV and brought them into the community so the children could get a chance to enjoy it, to see it, to believe it, to feel it. Because that's the only, we're very tactile people, so we need to be able to see it, feel it, touch it, hear it, and know that this could possibly be me. And I just want to say thank you for knowing that I did this. Thank you for encouraging me to continue to do this. This is something I have to do. I don't do it for money. I do it because the Spirit of God tells me you have these children, this community is in your hands. There's something you've got to do. And that's what I did. I thank the Omega Psi Phi fraternity and the Delta Sigma Theta Alumni Association. They've awarded me in the past the Omega Psi Phi. I worked with them. We're hoping to send children to Black College tour. This is my son who is an Omega man. I have two Omega sons and one Omega grandson. And we are about doing things for the community. We are about getting together. We're about positive, going forward, doing anything that can inspire, wake you up. You know, we will sign people up for voters registration, all of that. And I'm grateful. And I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to God to be standing here after having a dual surgery. God has said that be strong. Go forward. Do what you have to do. Know that you can do anything, and there's nothing that you can't do, and believe it. Thank you so much. I want to say